Hey everyone! Hello. Let me just check that the mic's working properly. Hey guys, hello everyone. I'm a bit rusty. Welcome everyone. My name is Bridget and I cover all things true crime. It's lovely to see you all. I'm sorry if I scared you in the beginning. I'll remember to make the music a little less loud in the beginning. But a big hello to everyone. Thank you for watching the live or watching the replay. I really appreciate it. So basically what we're going to do is every week, same time every week, I'm going to do a live interactive podcast, and we're either going to cover a case or we're going to sort of do case updates on a few different bits and pieces. This week, I want to do some case updates. There's some things I want to share with you that I've been meaning to share with you for a while, but I haven't. I'm also going to be doing my edited videos, but that's not going to be on a set schedule because they do take quite a long time to research, write the script, record the voiceover, edit, and all of that sort of stuff. But I am committing to every week we're going to do a live interactive podcast. So I hope that you'll join me in that every week, either live or through the replay. So a couple of housekeeping things. Hey everyone in the chat. A couple of things. First off, if you joined as a member, you'll probably not be in green because I actually have deleted all membership tiers and just have one membership tier now for $4.99 American US dollars, which is $5.99 Australian. So if you were a member, it actually won't charge you. It starts fresh now. So if you're interested in joining and becoming a member of the channel, then there is a link in the description of the video. We'll possibly do some members only live streams in the future, depending on how we go. The other quick little housekeeping thing I want to mention is that my channel is at 1.98 subscribers. I'm so very, very close to hitting the 2,000 subscriber mark, and I would really love if you guys could share the stream on your social media, share it with people that you think are interested in true crime or possible bunny content, because I mean there'll always be bunnies around. Thank you, Morgan. Welcome to the Respectful Stalkers. I'm still respectfully stalking all the time. I use that phrase all the time, even in my rescue work. If you didn't know, I help with the admin of a rabbit rescue, and I still respectfully stalk all the time, and no one understands what I'm talking about. Hey everyone, it's so nice to see everyone. I promise that I always think of everyone all the time. It's just that I'm so busy with helping bunnies. So very busy. So there's a couple of things I want to go over today. I want to talk about Casey Jones. Do we remember Casey Jones and her babies that were killed? I have exclusive photos of Mark Latunsky that I've been meaning to share for a while. I want to talk a little bit about Stephen Avery and the new witness involved in that case. I want to talk about two Australian crimes that have just happened within days of each other that are very, very reminiscent of Hannah Clark, the case that I just covered in my last video. So if you haven't watched that video, I would recommend that you go and watch it. It is very emotional, and I apologize because a couple of people have contacted me and said, hey, I bawled the entire video. So I do encourage you to watch it though, because it's a very important case, and it took me quite some time to do because it was so emotional. But unfortunately, something very similar happened last week in the same state here in Australia to a woman named Kelly Wilkinson. And then we also have another case I want to cover of a father who jumped off a bridge with his 9-month-old strapped to him. So there are a couple of bits and pieces I want to cover today. So one thing I want to mention is that a lot of cases, because of COVID, there's a lot of delays with cases. So when we're looking at the Casey Jones case, a quick little reminder, Casey Jones and her children went missing. And I don't think it was reported. No one actually reported them as missing, but what ended up happening is Michael Wayne Jones Jr., who's in the photo on the screen, he actually was found drunk. He'd crashed his car, I think, or he was in the middle of the road drunk, and the bodies of his wife and children were in the van, and so it was just the most horrific case. This was a while ago. Nothing much has happened in terms of the trial because of COVID. They're in Florida. I know Florida was hit or has been hit hard by COVID. So I'm struggling to find any information on updates on it. The only thing I've been able to find is that there may be a pre-trial set for May 12th. So that's something we can look out for. This is the part where you guys all become respectful stalkers and do a little digging and see if you can find anything out. If you can find anything out, you're free to, if we're live, write it in the chat, write it in a comment, email it to me, or join our Facebook group, All Things True Crime, and to pop it there, because I would really love to know more information about this. Hey Judy Ron, hey Jack's mum, hey everyone. A big hello, everyone. I'm trying not to get too distracted by the chat today because otherwise my brain will stop. So pre-trial is set for May 12th. There's also another update that's quite sad. Unfortunately, Nikki Jones, Casey's mother, recently passed away only, I think, last week, which just absolutely breaks my heart. I think a couple of us actually spoke to Nikki. I don't know what happened or how she passed. So that's really sad news, but I guess she's with Casey and her children again. She was in our group. We do have a Facebook group for the Casey Jones case. It's Casey Jones and her babies, I think. Maybe someone can find it and pop the link down for us. So that would be great. So that's a tiny little update. There's not a whole heap going on, but because of COVID, all the cases are just an absolute backlog. So a lot of the cases we've been following, it's going to take a couple of years, I think, for us to hopefully get justice for these cases. It's so lovely seeing everyone in chat and saying hello to everyone. I absolutely love seeing that. That's amazing. All right, so I want to move on to Kevin Bacon and the Mark Latunsky case. Yeah, Casey's mum passed away, Nikki Jones. Very, very sad. I don't know what happened with that, with her passing. That's all I could find out, was that she passed. If anyone can find out any information about any of the cases that we're covering, you're free to email it to me, missbridgetparker@gmail.com. I also have a Facebook page that's public for true crime that you can friend me on and send me a message there as well. You can also join our Facebook group, All Things True Crime, and share it there. So, let's have a little recap of Mark Latunsky and Kevin Bacon. I have covered this case quite extensively on this channel. So Kevin Bacon was sadly murdered brutally by Mark Latunsky we're thinking possibly Christmas Day, Christmas Eve 2019. And all of 2020 has been about competency hearings for Mark Latunsky because he's very mentally ill. There is no date set for a trial, and the last that we know about that is that December of December of 2020, Latunsky was denied another psych evaluation. So they keep going back and forth about whether he's fit to stand trial. The judge in December of 2020 let the previous decision stand, and that they have deemed him fit to stand trial, but we don't have a date, as I said, because of COVID. They don't have as many. Everything's just backlogged. So I don't have any more information about that and what's happening with the case. But I will do some more respectful stalking of this and see if there's anything else I can find out. So once again, if you find anything else out, you can let us know. We do have a Facebook group for this case. It's Justice for Kevin Bacon of Michigan, I believe. So you can come and join that. That has up-to-date information. The Rolling Stone actually did an incredible article on Kevin Bacon and the situation. I have left the link of that below in the description. It's a really great article. I do believe that they actually, Joseph, who actually wrote the article, is in our group, our Kevin Bacon group on Facebook, and I think I spoke to him at one point about this. But the article is really good because it gives you more of an understanding of Kevin Bacon and who he was as a person, which sometimes we miss out on finding out who the actual victims are. And it explained a lot about him, so I think it's a really important read. I don't want to read it here for you. I want you to go and read it. The link is in the description. It talks about Kevin and about what he wanted to do in the future, how he sort of had some at-risk behaviors that could really put him at risk, and that he did often put himself in not so great situations and circumstances with guys that he would meet up with. And I found that really interesting to read about, because I don't know if you guys remember, but I did an interview with David, who was a potential victim of Mark Latunsky. Definitely go and listen to that interview. But David actually mentioned in when I was interviewing him, that he felt he was having those at-risk behaviors himself. And so it was really interesting to me that these two people who didn't know each other were both drawn to talking to Mark, and it could have very well ended really badly for David as well. But he's stuck with his gut feeling of not engaging, and he didn't. So I'm really, really glad that he didn't continue with that. But it just sort of cemented the fact that my interview with David was really genuine and sincere, because it was just so parallel. It was really interesting. So I would really recommend going and reading the Rolling Stone article and then going and listening back to my interview with David, because it just gave it so much more validity. Hey, Tulips and Roses, thank you so much. I'm really great, and the bunnies are really great as well. They're all doing really well. I should probably do an update video on my bunnies. We just had a big important dental checkup with Artie, so maybe I'll do a separate little video with them. So yeah, so the Rolling Stone article, really recommend you read it. Now, the juicy part that I want to get to. One moment. Welcome in, everyone. So I have some photos of Mark Latunsky that I don't believe anyone else has published yet. So if you're interested in those photos, grab your popcorn. These are photos of him when he was younger, in his younger days, and they were given to me by a source. So let's take a little look. Whoops. I'm still rusty. Okay, so the photos that are popping up on the screen are from Mike Latunsky when he was younger. Black and white era photos. And these, were given to me by a source. And I haven't seen them being posted anywhere yet. So I will post these in our Facebook group as well. But yeah, I thought that was interesting. I should probably see if I can move them to do a comparison. Let me see if I can do that. What do we think? Do we think he looks similar? I guess you can sort of see it in the nose, maybe? I don't know. What do you think? So if I do manage to get good sources, Kanga Blue, that is true. I have awesome sources. Awesome sources. Wow, that's really tricky to say. So yeah, I thought these were really interesting. This is what he looked like when he was younger. And so if you don't know much about this case, I do recommend you go back and have a little look at my videos from previously, especially the interview with the potential victim. We also found out last year, I don't know if I covered it, but that the first victim, I think it's the first victim, he is suing Mike Latunsky, and he's actually added his brother, Mike Latunsky's brother, to that lawsuit. So the name of the person has been made public. The man who was the first victim. This is the guy that we listened to the 911 call of. That was bisexual but didn't want to tell anyone, and he picked him up from the bus station and took him back to the house. So I do have court documents for that, but there's not really too much information in the court documents, so that's why I haven't shared them yet. So yeah, I'll pop these photos up in the Facebook group. I don't know, these photos just really interesting to me, especially the one on the right hand screen. I don't know. Anyway, that's my little exclusive for you all. Hope that you enjoyed that. Okay, so what else do I want to cover? Let me go back to my notes. So I don't know whether I want to cover Stephen Avery today, but I don't know how interested people are in the Stephen Avery, Brendan Dassey case. There is a new witness that has come out. I haven't done as much research on it as I would have liked to have done. But it is really interesting because there is a Facebook group called Making a Murderino, and it's all about the Stephen Avery case, and it has all of the court documents in there. And there is a new witness that has come out and said that they saw Bobby Dassey, which is Stephen Avery's nephew, and an older man move Teresa Halbach's car. So that's pretty huge news. But the whole case to me is really, I don't know what the wording would be, but it's the case itself is so tarnished, I guess is the word that I would use, that making a murderer changed a lot of people's opinions or got people interested in the case. And I think that was very one-sided. And I feel like because of that, it's really hard to cover it because there's so much bias in the case, whether it's for or against. So I feel like that would have to be a stream of itself to just really deep dive and for everyone to sort of get involved and to give their opinions. Because like Miss Justice has said in the comments, why didn't they come forward before? The whole case to me is just, sometimes there's cases that it just, gets twisted up. It's just tarnished and it's hard to then find fact from fiction. And I think that happens a lot these days, especially because of social media and because of people being sort of web sleuths, but not basing their opinions and putting facts out there and just putting sort of theories or gossiping. And I think it can really affect a case. So this is a case I am interested in, but I would want to do a heck of a lot more research before talking about it, because it is a bit of a mess. I don't know what you guys think, but I think it's a bit of a mess. There's a couple of cases like that. Like the Brittany Shank case, that's a bit of a mess. And it's such a shame because there are victims in it that deserve justice. And, you know, in the case of Teresa Holbach, did she get justice or didn't she? Because we all talk about Stephen Avery and Brendan Dassey, but she was murdered, and if the right people were in jail, then that's great. But if the wrong people are in jail, there needs to be justice. So it's a bit frustrating with cases like that. So that's a case I do want to cover, maybe to do a live stream just on that case. And I also want to do that with Kristen Smart's case, because that's a cold case that we've just had some more information come out about. But I don't want to sort of just mention it in passing. I think it deserves its own live on. So if there are any cases that you think that deserve their own live on, so we can discuss, we can dissect, let me know in the chat, let me know in the comments, and we can do that in the future. Our weekly podcast will be either recapping a couple of cases or giving case updates or focusing on one case in particular. I do want to move on to Kelly Wilkinson and the father and baby case, and spend most of my time talking about that because I'm sure a lot of you won't know about these cases, but because we've just covered Hannah Clark, these cases sort of seem linked in a way. Unfortunately for Kelly, they're linked because she was burned alive, which is just absolutely horrific. Absolutely horrific. So let me just have a little drink. I'm not used to talking as much as I used to, so my voice is going to have to get used to it again. So bear with me as I remember how to do this thing. That's a fair point, Cheryl. Cheryl says she's never been able to get into the Stephen Avery case. The case is just too muddy for me. Yeah, I mean, I feel that way sometimes. And that's like, how can I have forgotten the name of it? The case that everyone's following that's just twists and turns. I haven't even really looked into it and I've completely forgotten. The Laurie Vallow case, I haven't looked into it at all because it seems just so... Hey, Pickle Pickle. Hey, Caitlin. That case just seems so all over the place. And I feel like with some cases, if you don't follow them from the beginning, you're constantly playing catch up. And I think we all get drawn to certain cases. One case that you may be super interested in, another person might not be. For instance, I hate to mention it, but Chris Watts, like I'm not interested in that case. probably like the only person on earth that's just not interested in it. So, yeah. So let's talk about Kelly Wilkinson. So if you haven't watched the Hannah Clark video that I did, I really recommend that you do. Lots of love and heart went into that video. What happened was Hannah was burned alive by her ex-partner in her car with their three children, and then he completed suicide. The parallels with Kelly's case as well are there. Not only are they in the same state, not only were they burned alive, but they were both asking the police for help, constantly asking the police for help. And at the time of both Hannah and Kelly's murders, they had protection orders in place. So Kelly was killed only last Wednesday, the 21st of April. So this is still really raw and new for Australia and for Queensland. She has 3 children who they believe witnessed the murder, which is just horrific. The murder happened in the backyard, I believe. The man responsible is Brian L. Johnston, who was her estranged husband. Let me pop up a photo of them together. Although we don't really want to see his face. He did sustain burns. He was found about 2 blocks away, I believe, from the scene of the crime, and he has extensive burns, which, you know, doesn't really, unfortunately. He was found semi-conscious with burns. Now, yeah, as I said, every single day she was trying to get help because she was so concerned for her safety. And unfortunately, there are not enough protections in place for situations like this. Last year, in my video on Hannah Clark, I showed a clip of our Prime Minister in Parliament saying this should never have happened, never again. And a year later, it's happened again. And not only with Kelly, but the next case I'm going to talk about of the man who completed suicide and had his 9-month-old child strapped to him when he did that. You know, there's so many things that need to change in order for people to be safe from their estranged partners or partners who are abusing them. It's just really not fair. It's disgusting. Hey, Harmony. Just reading the comments. That's a really interesting point, Kanga Blue. So everyone have a look on the screen and have a look at how she's sort of leaning away from him in the photo. That is really interesting. I didn't notice that. I wish we could see the whole photo to see if to see how everyone's standing. But that is a really interesting point, Kanga Blue. So, Kelly's children are completely fine. They weren't hurt or harmed in any way. So I guess that's one positive you could, I suppose, have out of this case. Kelly's sister, I believe, is taking custody of the 3 children, and she herself has 5 children. So there's going to be 8 children that she's looking after, which is just... my heart goes out to her, trying to sort of grieve, but also look after 8 children together. There is a GoFundMe for them, and they've raised, I think, over $200,000, which is really not enough for what they need for their futures. So if I can find a link to the here we go. I found a link to the GoFundMe. Let me pop it in the chat. Let's see what it is at the moment. We're at 233,000. Let me share it in the chat. Nope. Kelly GoFund. There we go. And I think that's her sister that created it. And the money will go towards paying for the funeral, kids' schooling, and other costs. That's not a lot of money. They're going to need so much more than that. So if you can share that GoFundMe or donate, I know that would be really appreciative. You think there's an age difference? Let me refresh myself and see how old he was. I can't remember. Does anyone remember how old he was? Or is, unfortunately? Let me see if I can find it. It's just so tragic. Like, it's really hard because, you know, covering true crime, you do see a lot of domestic violence, and it's just so infuriating that it feels like nothing's happening. There's nothing being put in place to make sure this doesn't happen. But I don't know what they can do, but you know, I just wish that they would just harm themselves instead of harming innocent, you know, women and children. Brian is 35, so she's 27, he's 35. So yeah, I think this is probably a case that I would like to do a video on, just like I did with Hannah, and really share her story, because it's just, I don't even know. He was actually, this is an interesting note, he is a ex-US Marine. So I didn't actually know that he was a Marine before. And he was deployed to the Middle East in 2007 and 2008. Let me share another photo and see what you guys think. Save image. Image. Download. So this is another photo from their wedding. She's so pretty. You'd be interested in hearing it? Okay, awesome. All right, so this is another photo of them together. But yeah, it's a very, very sad case. And, you know, within a year of Hannah and her children losing their lives in such a brutal way, then this happens. It's just, I don't even have words. So following that, we also have another case that is just absolutely heartbreaking. It's of a man who, the morning of this horrific, I don't even know what to call it, tragedy, Henry Shepherdson, he was 38. He had a protection order against him. That morning he'd been to the Adelaide Magistrates Court to try and have contact with his family, but he had been banned from having contact with them. So that day, he straps his baby girl, who is 9 months old, Kobe, he straps her to him, and he jumps off Whispering Wall, which is actually a tourist attraction. So there's lots of people around, and he jumps and he dies. But his baby girl Kobe, she doesn't die until 15 minutes has passed. So it's just totally brutal and horrible. So this is considered a murder-suicide. 9 months old. It's just absolutely crazy. So this is all happening within the space of a week, where Kelly's losing her life, poor Kobe's losing her life. There was also another incident in Queensland, I believe, where another man or a woman was found as well. So it's sort of, this doesn't really happen this much. It's not this prevalent here in Australia. So it's just been an absolutely horrific time for everyone, really. So this sweet 9-month-old angel sadly lost her life because of this man and his distorted view and way of thinking. So yeah, it's I can't even deep dive into that one, because 9 months old, a 9-month-old little girl, it's just absolutely horrendous, and I'll never understand that myself, personally. So yeah, I wanted to dip my toe in this week and see how we went. So I just wanted to sort of get back and come back and really dip my toe in a little bit and see how I felt about going live. I haven't gone live in such a long time, and it's something that I used to do every single day. So I'm hoping to commit to doing it once a week, and either, like I said, covering one case or covering a bunch. I like to be well researched, so that's really important to me. And I know I'm sort of starting fresh because I haven't been around for such a long time. I've been thinking about everyone and still being involved in true crime, but, you know, working with the rescue bunnies and helping with adoptions. So for me, I've wanted to come back, but it's just been really hard to. I do have, I am working on my next case for my true crime spotlight. I'm not going to tell you who it is yet, but I have the triple O call, which in America would be 911, and it's just insane. It's just wild. So I will be working on that. But I sort of want to know your feedback, what you want to see each week in the podcast. Do you want it just to be a chat about true crime? Do you want a specific case covered? Would you like the chance to call in and share a case that you've been looking at? You know, your feedback is really what I would really appreciate, because like I said, I'm starting from scratch again, and I've got to build my confidence back up and my talking skills again, and make it interesting again for you, as well. But for me personally, I'm not going to cover the cases every single person is covering, because I don't like the way that some true crime is covered. I only go on fact. I try and sort of see it from the eyes of the victim and give the victim a voice. And I'm not doing it for views and subscribers. I don't want to sell out for that. Obviously, I want you to subscribe. I really want to hit 2,000, but I want to cover the cases that I'm drawn to, and not just because everyone's covering it and it'll get me the most views. So Tulips and Roses says a bit of everything. I can do a bit of everything, so that's why I want to do the true crime chat, and then I want to do weekly podcast, and then I want to do my edited videos, because I really do enjoy doing those. They just take a lot longer to do, so you have to wait for them and be patient. But yes, I should do a little video to upload on how all the bunnies are doing. Sassy's good, so is Artie. Artie went to the vets and he's doing well. And Huxley and Daisy are fantastic as always. Thanks, Kanga Blue. Thanks, Jack's mum. No, it's good to be back. I just wanted to sort of be gentle with myself coming straight back in, because it's been a while, and I'm back to feeling like I've never done this before. So yeah, I think I'm going to wrap it up there. Thank you. I do have a passion for the cases I cover. I will be back on next week, same time. If there is a case you want me to cover, then please let me know. Don't forget to join that Facebook group. If you can. I'm considering maybe moving to Discord. I don't know. I'll have a think about it. But yeah, I would love if you would share this video and any of my other videos with your social medias. And I would love to try and hit that 2,000 mark. That would really mean a lot to me. I haven't really delved into the Delphi case a whole bunch. I've listened to some stuff about it. But apart from that, yeah, I haven't really listened. I haven't done my sort of typical respectful stalk. Hang on, sorry, I'm distracted. Yeah, that's done. So yeah, I will see you all. Thanks everyone. Thank you so much for the support. I truly, truly appreciate it. I'm back. I am officially back. And I will continue to do that every week. I may pop in just to have random chats as well during the week, and maybe do a random chat and I can talk about bunnies or something. I don't know, because I know that some people enjoy talking about the bunnies. Don't worry. Yeah, no, that's why. Yeah, that was me. Yep. Just don't feed them. Thank you so much, everyone. I hope that you have a lovely day or night wherever you are. Please share this out with your family and friends, and I'll see you next week. Take care, everyone. Bye.